presents ECW One Night Stand.
Need I say more? The ECW chant started off great, but once it starts going off sync, I gotta place this in.
The Tribe of Extreme!
And what I'm wearing around my neck is the headset of Extreme. Though, honestly, Paul Heyman must have forgotten to take that out prior to entering the arena. Real wrestling fans in the building sign. Why is that a sin? Because there's no such thing as real wrestling fans.
Thank you!
This is all because of you, so thank you, cliche. It takes a full 7 minutes for this event to officially begin. You're not even my opponent tonight, but here, take this fresh slap to your face. Just roll with it. Also, assaulting commentators, even if technically another commentator is the one doing it. I checked the rules. Not every match was no disqualification on this night, including this one. So the match should be over by disqualification, as Joey Styles is not even a participant in this match. Jerry Lawler wins by disqualification. End of story. Opening things off with a 30-second squash match. This is so far not looking good on the Sins, despite this being a freaking awesome event. Any sudden squash match on pay-per-view is disappointing in my opinion.
Might as well join you, Sin. You don't mind if I join you, right?
Like you were never going to be on commentary for this night anyway.
He is going to kill the legend of ECW.
So why is he going after Kurt Angle, who is not the heart, soul, and legend of ECW? Previously on something that's not ECW.
Remember, in freestyle wrestling.
What the hell was that? Randy Orton shoves Kurt off of him, then proceeds to do a twirl and make himself look stupid? Who honestly does that after pushing their opponents off them? It's moments like Randy constantly leaving the ring to catch a breather that answers how this match was 15 minutes long. We're 4 minutes in, and this is honestly boring me, seeing the same stuff again and again. Kurt resorting to slapping Randy in the back of the head in a childish manner.
No, now Kurt, say put a hold on me. Look at this.
Randy actually fell for that. Randy's fingers must be strong with the force if he was able to deliver the eye poke to Kurt without even coming into contact with him whatsoever. Even if ECW crowds are intended to be hostile toward anyone that's not part of their brand, I still had to add in the 5-cent penalty for the "you can't wrestle" chants. Sure, the fans said more insulting things with sexual innuendos and F-bombs, but those are simply insults. "You can't wrestle" was ultimate disrespect to any wrestler fighting.
There will be some chance that we will not be repeating on the air.
But they likely will, so it wouldn't matter either way if we repeated it or not.
Freedom of speech.
The boring chance could be for 2 reasons. One, the most obvious reason, Randy Orton is in control of this match and is not part of the ECW brand. The other reason could be because we're 30 minutes into the show with nothing extreme going on. Randy had already released Kurt's arm before Kurt flipped through the arm takedown counter. And yet those same fans would still send Randy well wishes from a broken ankle injury even despite chanting "break his ankle." Hypocrisy is always a sin.
I like it here. You know, I think I'm gonna move here.
You already live in New York, Taz.
About Tajiri a minute ago. It looked like he might have been falling asleep. Maybe some...
Wow, Taz remarking that Tajiri's eyes look like they're falling asleep. That's racist, man. Out of the weirdest chants I ever heard throughout this night, including the hostile ones, the Nacho Libre chant is definitely on the top 2, reminding me of that very dumb movie Jack Black starred in, ironically, in the same year. Also, the irony of Nacho Libre being released just 5 days after this pay-per-view event took place.
John Cena will defend the WWE. Hello!
John Cena will defend the WWE Hello. That's not how pinfalls work, super crazy. Tajiri tapped out immediately upon getting locked in the reverse armbar, and yet the referee doesn't ring the bell, giving the FBI the victory. Spitting at your opponent. Off-sync double low dropkick combination. Hope I said that right. Man, don't you just hate it when wrestlers go for a moonsault and ultimately miss their opponent? Even in ECW, it's hard to watch that without cringing. Kinda like it's hard to watch this video without cringing at my constant nitpicking. Wrestlers intend to walk out of the match when it becomes too difficult for them to handle out of cowardice, cliche. Man, that was a long cliche.
Watch out, he's not the...
The referee seriously didn't hear that? I call bullshit on that. That's the second match tonight where a disqualification should have occurred but doesn't due to poor officiating. Oh my god, that throw into the barricade looked extremely painful. Super Crazy must be in so much pain. Tony Mama Luke messed up pretty badly in that flapjack landing. His leg could have been twisted and snapped. It's like he couldn't decide whether to flip or land on his front. That, or he thought it'd be a good idea to spin around for some reason. What a devastating kick to the air, and a pretty bad intro to the ring upon getting tagged in. Referee isn't even trying to get the illegal men out of the ring. Hell, he just stood around and watched even as Big Guido entered the ring to interfere. Super Crazy took quite the nasty shot out of the ring, then decided to jump backwards into the fans and crush their legs. The Big Show is here at this specific moment because reasons. Big Show is addicted to Big's Guidos, if that even makes any sense. Also, post-match assault. Impromptu promo from JBL, and we have still yet to see anything extreme on this pay-per-view event. Wake me up when we get to the extreme matches. I'm just going to take a little nap.
I see no women, and you're chanting about a male organ. Who's the fruit booty?
Wow. Never thought I'd say this, but John Bradshaw Layfield just freaking owned the ECW crowd at their own show. Guess that's what happens when fans chant for male genitalia all night long instead of something original.
You paid to see me!
Despite the fact that I wasn't even scheduled to compete on this show, thus making my whole statement completely untrue and random.
This show sucks! Why'd you come then?
Taz would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion.
Under Extreme Rules!
It takes a full freaking hour before we finally get extreme on the quote rebirth of ECW.
For the World Championship!
That would be World Heavyweight Championship, you moron.
One Night Stand is presented by...
Skip! The fact that they renamed the title the World Championship when Rey Mysterio was the holder. If you're doing that because he's not a heavyweight, then what's the freaking point of allowing him to compete for it in the first place?
Maybe Rey Mysterio's trying to...
This referee is stupid, telling both Rey and Sabu to put down their chairs in a match that's literally labeled as Extreme Rules. I know you're from SmackDown, but even you should know how things work here in ECW.
Rey wearing that mask, kind of a little bit of a suck-up deal, right?
Taz is such an asshole to Lucha Libre. Chair sword fight. Despite the fact that commentators are supposed to be neutral, Taz was always rooting for the ECW competitor since this night began. But now he's rooting for Rey Mysterio by warning him to get out of the way of Sabu's oncoming attack? Seriously, whose side are you on?
Sabu and Rey's got him scouted!
Ow, my hands!
And the 619 misses here in the 212.
Sabu never got close to kicking Rey's leg, who jumped in the air just because he believed he could fly. Newsflash, he can't fly. What the hell was that? Sabu clearly saw Rey move out of the way from the table, which is why he went to the top rope. But then he proceeds to jump and hit himself on the barricade despite knowing Rey wasn't even close there. And what made it worse was Sabu not even hurting himself on the barricade whatsoever, but he makes it seem like he did, so double sin.
Trying to be impartial? What the hell are you gonna be impartial for?
Because you're fucking commentators! There's your reason to be impartial, Jesus.
Rey, watch out! Oh my God!
First extreme moment of the night, first of what likely will be several sun removers tonight.
That's ECW right there.
These fans have really bad timing to be chanting holy shit, specifically since the extreme moment happened 1 minute ago. Rey is a dick to his own Mysterios. Huh, never thought I'd ever say that. Amazing what things I say on this franchise. Did you hear that smash? That was the sound of yet another sin remover because holy shit, that was an awesome sound of a chair shot. And this time, it's 3 sin removers. Thank God none of them were legit injured from this, so I feel no guilt in removing sins.
No, they can't fight anymore!
And now those 3 sins I just removed are being added back because of the stupid decision to cancel the match. What a shame. The dumb idea of co-holders of a hardcore championship, which inspires the stupid idea that Lay Cole would be co-holders of the WWE Women's title 4 years later. The ring announcer forgot to announce this as an Extreme Rules tag team match. And if you're about to tell me, well, that's stated the obvious, need I remind you that not all of the matches tonight were under Extreme Rules.
I sold out Madison Square Garden.
Easily the best way to piss off any ECW fan, am I right? Anytime ECW gives WWE crap, just simply say that they sold out Madison Square Garden and the response back would never win.
The smoke and the pyro, what is this?
Taz acts like he's never seen Edge's pyro once in his life despite being in the WWE for years prior to this event.
And he gives out an endless supply.
Understandable that they censored the word bullshit, but I never knew that the words supply of were not to be uttered on TV before.
I think you're all pathetic.
Wrestler thinks the fans are all pathetic cliche, and oh my god, is that seriously the best insult Edge can come up with?
The innovator of silence!
Innovator of silence.
Let's make it 3-on-3.
Impromptu match change. Also, how the hell does Beulah McGillicuddy have the authority to make changes in matches? She's not in charge of this show.
It's either put up or shut up, bitch.
Can't say it any better than that.
Lita, a former WWE Women's Champion.
How the hell was that relevant at all for this match? Catfight just broke out. Oh, and by the way, Lita won the WWE Women's title too. See how that is not relevant to the situation?
Fight.
This is an Extreme Rules tag team match, right? So why the hell are Edge and Tommy Dreamer the only ones in the ring at this moment? How can there be legal competitors if there are no rules in this match? I'm so confused here.
Here we go. I don't want to be here.
Mick Foley takes a few slaps from Terry Funk and immediately says, "I don't want to be here?" Seriously? And yet Mick is the one known as the Hardcore Legend, adding in a double sin for Mick immediately becoming a wuss 30 seconds upon entering the match.
Uh-oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Meanwhile, Lita and Beulah are just hanging out on the ring apron, awkwardly watching the action.
Dreamer will use anything to get his hands up.
Jesus, Terry literally risked hitting the fans with that spinning chair just on the one chance that he'd be able to whack Mick with it. I know you're hardcore, but leave the fans out of the action. There'd be a lawsuit coming your way. Yeah, I just spat a lot of water in your face. Edge has totally been incapacitated from something like that. Pretty effective shot, but at the same time, Terry gave Mick the trash can to use as a weapon once he recovers. Tommy was watching Edge the whole time and could have easily ducked that shot, but decided not to just for the joy of getting hit by weapons. This is an ECW event designed for hardcore matches and a crapload of weapons, and yet over half of this side of the ring is empty. Aside from some tables and what looks to be a towel, why that's under the ring I don't know, there's literally nothing else to use. What a ripoff. Throwing your opponent into the crowd is one thing, but Mick takes Terry literally halfway up the entrance ramp before throwing him into the crowd. Couldn't have just done that without the long walk.
61-year-old Terry Funk.
Thanks for clarifying how old he was, Joey. There's literally a thin piece of plywood that wouldn't cause much pain whatsoever under the ring as well. How would that help you win?
Oh my God.
And there's 2 sins removed for that awesome reveal.
Watch out, watch out. Oh my.
Tommy twitching upon getting the barbed wire wood suplex, at least I think that's what it's called, was perfect selling of the pain.
No, not again, not again. Oh.
Okay, even if Edge and Mick did succeed in suplexing the plywood onto Tommy without Terry tripping them, they still would not have hit Tommy at all. Edge is addicted to Tommy's Dreamers. Jesus, I can't watch that without cringing every time. Just remove 5 cents now, now.
Oh my God,
The fans have seen much worse throughout ECW's history, yet they have the audacity to call Mick Foley a sick fuck. Wow.
Yeah, we gotta get you to back.
And now Terry needs medical attention. Probably shouldn't be competing in these hardcore matches if you're in your 60s. At least they didn't call the match off like the last one. Here, let me pose and give you the thumbs up for no reason. Why not? Oh yeah, I forgot that Beulah was a part of this match. Wasn't it her that suggested the 6-person mixed tag team change in the stipulation? Yet she literally hasn't been in the ring whatsoever since the bell rung.
And there's the spear.
I'm with Mick on this one. Let's just pin Tommy and finish this thing.
Barbed wire. 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire.
So that's a barbed wire 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire? I'm sorry, but how does that make any sense? Here, look at the crowd for a moment. Pay no mind to the action going on that you pay to see. It's not ECW without something lit on fire, am I right? Screw this! That's 10 sins removed now! ECW, Extreme Cuddly Wrestling.
Extreme, my man.
Attempted murder. Well, that's what happens when you gain control of the match, but then decide to stand and pose while your opponent recovers behind you.
Sick bastard.
I gotta remove 3 cents for that hilarious parody of the missionary position in Edge's pinfall. I'm disturbed and disgusted by it, but this is ECW, so expect that sort of crap. Also, was Beulah even legally tagged in? It was not a tornado tag team match, that's for sure. If Beulah was not even a wrestler, then she shouldn't have put herself in this match. And since she did put herself in this match, she shouldn't have expected special treatment. Where the hell is John Cena at? This is one of the oddest places to be waiting for your match. Is he not welcome in the locker room or something? Okay, Rob Van Dam is part of ECW, and his location is even more weird and unusual than John's. Wasn't this pay-per-view mainly about ECW versus Raw and SmackDown? So now we have a random ECW versus ECW match? I know, this is an ECW show, but stick to the hype. Hey, stop doing fast counts, ref. Balls Mahoney decided to jump out of the ring after he clearly saw Masato Tanaka pulling down the rope. Taking beer from the fans. You never know, that guy could have poisoned his drink just on the one chance you asked for a beer. Also, drinking on the job. Another chair sword fight. Oh damn, that was freaking extreme. I am removing yet another sin for that horrifying chair shot. That was awesome. Despite the fact that RVD succeeds in his Money in the Bank cash-in against John Cena, it's still a dumb idea to let your opponent know sometime before you actually do it. Really takes away the surprise opportunity. The ring introductions for the main event has begun, and we get a random impromptu segment with Eugene? This seriously has no business being on this pay-per-view. Here are 8 sins for 8 wasted minutes of extreme pay-per-view time.
I wrote a poem. Do you want to hear it?
Not a loving environment.
This may sound completely insane, but I think I just found out where Bayley got her inspiration for the Hug Life gimmick nearly a decade later.
Run, Forrest, run!
You dare bring a Forrest Gump reference into an ECW show, Joey Styles? Whoever brought that I came to see John Cena die sign. Way too far, asshole. 56 seconds of waiting for John Cena's music to hit. It always seems like John does his salute in that fashion whenever he's in an arena full of his haters. Further proves that his salute is just him saying read between the lines. 2 minutes worth of John throwing his shirt in the crowd and getting it thrown back at him. Honestly, after the 3rd time you threw your shirt in the crowd, isn't it obvious that they'll just throw it back at you? Why even bother? Throwing toilet paper in the ring. What a waste of a great roll of toilet paper.
Might be getting the scene of this, no doubt.
My ears hear you can't wrestle, but I look deeper into their souls and the fans' minds are actually saying we are jealous. Man, owning the ECW fans is easy as hell, especially since they do nothing but curse. Any minute now, they're gonna kiss. The same old shit chant is perfect for both John Cena's matches and the chants from the audience of ECW. By putting his sign in front of the camera, this fan tries to make ECW One Night Stand be presented by pork, some really good meat, or something like that. John is a dick to the cameraman by throwing RVD into him.
Watch this!
Alright, that was impressive from RVD, so I'll give it a sin remover because I'm being kind. RVD is honestly making a big mistake here by raising the chair high in the air in front of his opponent too, instead of actually using the chair immediately upon introduction.
Check it out, watch. Oh!
I'd be tempted to remove a sin if I hadn't seen RVD literally dive himself through the chair. In reality, RVD would have bounced off the top turnbuckle from that toss. It honestly would have been much more hilarious and awesome if John actually taunted the crowd with a you can't see me gesture. Nothing's more awesome than sticking it to your haters, in my opinion. Hell, I do that all the time.
Trying to set him up how strong.
What is this supposed to be? I don't get what RVD's plan is at all here. Did someone botch something? Oh yeah, I forgot that this match was contested under Extreme Rules. That's something that should never be uttered at an ECW show, but it sadly has tonight. I'm adding in 3 sins here. That is total bullshit that John has to break the hold in a match that is literally an Extreme Rules match. If John could get disqualified over this, then why didn't he get disqualified earlier for putting RVD through that chair?
Don't do that. Oh!
Can't say the referee didn't deserve that, but I still had to add in the assaulting referee's sin nonetheless.
What the hell is that? What's that?
Awesome to see Edge once again continuing his feud with John Cena, but what's with the dumb motorcycle helmet? Your big reveal pretty much happened the way you ran at John for the spear. Also, that spear through the table somehow knocked over the cameraman despite him not being close enough to the action to get hit. This crowd is praising Edge despite verbally torturing him 30 minutes ago. I guess they can never make up their mind on who to root for. Edge is still WWE, and WWE is still the enemy.
What the hell?
I'll admit that Paul Heyman being the one to count the pinfall here was one of the coolest moments of this match, so here's 2 sins off. Also, I'm removing another 5 sins mainly because this pay-per-view event had some pretty extreme moments, and while there weren't a lot, there were enough for satisfaction.